like me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. You see that title? Child, let's talk about it. Let's go. Yes, y'all, I am here to let you know if you are not on the Instagram or the TikTok, so you haven't seen it, you don't really get, makeup news outside of YouTube. I'm here to let you know MAC will be launching at Sephora. Let me know what your reaction is. If you didn't know that, or let me know what your reaction was when you first saw it and you saw it on some other platform. Let me know in the comments down below what you first thought of when you heard that. You know what I saw a lot of people saying? I saw a lot of people saying that's a recession indicator. Let me go ahead and read the article. MAC Cosmetics is launching at Sephora. The makeup label will make its debut at the chain's US stores next year. Why is MAC not sold at Sephora has long been pondered in beauty enthusiast Reddit groups and by fans of the 41-year-old makeup label. Their wait is over. The Estee Lauder company said on Wednesday that the brand is finally making its way into US Sephora locations. Starting in early 2026, it will be available at both Sephora and Sephora at Kohl's. The launch comes after slumping sales for the iconic brand, which has been enlisting fresh talent and shaking up its marketing strategy in a bid to return to growth. The brand has already been available at Sephora locations outside the US, including Canada and the UK. In Estee Lauder Company's fiscal 2025 earning results published in August, a sale decline for MAC was listed as one of the primary drivers of 5% decrease in makeup sales for the company, which noted retail softness and retailer destocking for the label. Is that it? Because it's not moving. Okay. Earlier this year, the brand appointed Nicola Formichetti its new creative director and announced Doja Cat as its new brand ambassador in September. Known for its own store footprint, MAC launched at Ulta Beauty in 2017 in the US, but remained notably absent from Sephora shelves. It has long been compared to Makeup Forever, owned by Sephora parent company LVMH, in terms of product lineup and positioning. Okay, so let's address some of the things in that article. Now, MAC sales declining. You guys remember I did a MAC downfall video during COVID. So that's 2020, where I was like, I don't foresee a shutdown for MAC. And honestly, truly, I don't think I'll ever foresee that. However, I feel like it'd be a little dishonest to say that you can't notice that MAC is not what it once was. That was a brand where if you got into makeup, you had it was just a rite of passage where you had to try MAC at some point. With the eye pots, I can't remember what they're called. The lip liner, the lipstick, the MAC singles. You could make your own MAC eyeshadow palettes. It's you had to do that if you decided that you were going to get into makeup. Now it's baby, do the kiddies, do they know that MAC exists? Do they? Because I feel and I was having this conversation the other day, how it is very different. And now when you're a child, tween, teenager, there is a very big gap in between content marketing for kids, for children, and then it's there's nothing after that. It's just they skip right on over to content for adolescent, tweens, teenagers, and they go straight to content for grown women. There is no in between there, and there's no, natural flow for them to get into that. So it's kind of you go from, Miss Rachel on TV to what programming do you go to after that? We're skipping over having a That's So Raven, the Lizzie McGuire show, and going straight to just having your favorite influencer on social media, right? Going straight into, Love Island, going straight into baddies. There's nothing in between that, and it's kind of the same for makeup. You're going straight into Dior lip gloss. And I'm not even necessarily saying that there's something wrong with skipping over, more affordable makeup or Maybelline, L'Oreal, or Claire's, or, makeup that is targeted for a younger crowd. I'm not even necessarily saying that there's something wrong with that. However, when you are skipping over stuff like that and going straight to what is being recommended by grown women, if you're a brand that those grown women, those influencers are not readily talking about on the internet, yeah, I can see how there's going to be some decline for you. So years ago, you know, like when I was getting into makeup and whatnot, even if I skipped over that type of stuff, the people that I was looking up to who were talking about makeup and showing how to do makeup, MAC was a very big brand that they were going to talk about. So you went through that process of trying MAC cosmetics. Now, they're not doing that, right? It's skipping over MAC, and the go-to products are Rhode. Rhode Beauty is going to be the brand, right? Rare Beauty, Fenty Beauty, Danessa Myricks, that type of stuff. So if MAC has lost some of that steam of people talking about them on the internet, then, you know, that newer crowd of people who are getting into makeup, they're going to skip over that rite of passage. And the people who already know MAC, they already have it. And either they already have it and they're content with what they have, or they've moved past MAC and they've gone to other things, other brands. So I can see how if their sales are down, I can see how. Which brings me to my next point. It might be best for MAC to get into Sephora because I am not buying MAC directly from their website. However, I am not buying from any retailer's direct website. If it's not sold at Ulta or Sephora, and that's the reason why there are a lot of brands that I just have not tried. You know, when I do the, you know, let's talk about new makeup every month video, and I'll say like, oh, I mean to try this. Like I have meant to try this brand. It looks like something that I would like. But if it's not sold at Ulta or Sephora, it's very likely that I'm just never going to get around to doing it. Something in my brain just does not remember to go to their direct website. If I do buy directly from you and you're not available at some, you know, easy retailer to get it from, either I am intentionally trying to support you. I am like, no, this is, you know, some new brand, some Black owned brand, some this brand that I want to give my money to. And I remember to go to your website. Or I tried going to Ulta and Sephora and the product that I needed was sold out. So now I'm like, okay, let me just go to the retailer. Like it's something in my brain just does not compute with going to their website. So I like MAC products, and you know, I've had things where I'm like, oh, I need to go buy this MAC, this, that, and the third. It's just not in my head to go to their website. So being in Sephora, you know, just like it's in Ulta, it'll help for people who, you know, they only shop those type of retailers so that they can, you know, use points, or they can do this or they can do that. It'll also help with visibility. You know, if it's not readily available, a lot of people, it's just out of sight, out of mind type thing. So you could just be walking, and I'll be in Sephora like, what's new? What y'all got going on? And I'll be like, oh, I saw that on, you know, TikTok, and start looking into it. And I'll just remember brands existing just by walking down their display. So that'll help with MAC's visibility. And then the last thing, you know, announcing that Doja Cat is their new ambassador and kind of like the face of MAC right now. It was literally her picture used in the article. You know, definitely an interesting choice. Now here's the thing. 2 years ago, would I have thought that great? And mind you, Doja Cat is still very much so Doja Cat. She's a very big celebrity. She has a very big fan base, right? But I'm saying 2 years ago because you don't, or maybe you don't know, but Doja Cat had her little like edgelord moment, and she just recently released an album, and I don't think it did how they expected it to do, which mind you, Doja Cat makes good music. It's Doja Cat's personality that kind of, you know, tainted it for her a little bit, because bashing your biggest product, right, your most successful product, and saying that it was just a money grab, and you know, talking to your fans like they're stupid and like you don't value them, that's not going to go over well for you in the long run, right? Because especially if you say stuff like that, you start talking about it was for money, it was for this, and you're saying things to like rage bait. And that is why I say time and time again, the whole any publicity is good publicity, stupid. Rage bait marketing, stupid. If you cannot build a product, you cannot provide a product where regular, normal marketing, normal PR can hold its own with that product, that's the problem. That whole like quick, you know, 5 seconds of fame, the rage bait attention that you're going to get, it's going to get old very quickly. It's going to die down very quickly. And in the long run, it is not going to get you the customers, the fans, the whatnot, whatever it is that can be long term, so that you can have a, you know, brand that lasts 40 something years, so that you can have, you know, an artist who is still selling out 4 decades later. It's not sustainable. Please stop it. But she did. And, you know, I think the rollout of her album this time around and its reception is showing that no, and I just in these times that we're in right now, that's not the energy that she wants to go for. So Doja Cat is definitely a choice for MAC. JT, they did a collaboration with JT. You see the reception of that. Alex Kinsani, I think. They also collaborated with, mind you, they did the same type of collaboration with her that they did with JT, and JT is sold out. I don't remember hearing anything or seeing that Alex is sold out. So, you know, they are picking people who have influence, who have this and that. I just think some of the choices are a little interesting, and some of the choices I feel like I don't want to say better, because, you know, I never want to say someone doesn't deserve the chance that they received. However, a brand standpoint, I do think there were other avenues that they could have explored. If you are looking for, you know, celebrities or influencers or whoever it is to just kind of keep your name out there and get your name back out there, you know. Curious to see how they will move forward when it comes to, you know, who they collab with, who they align with to keep MAC's name alive, especially if they're already keeping in mind the fact that sales are down. And they're just trying to, you know, keep MAC's name in the conversation, because this is a legendary brand. Like, especially if you were here for the times where they did the like Selena collaboration, Aaliyah, Mariah Carey, Patrick Starr, like, you know, MAC knows how to do a collection, how to do a collaboration. They know how to make it elaborate. And look, I know brands are trying to cut costs and whatnot and stuff like that, but like, that's the energy it's gonna have to give. And I'm just not sure if, you know, some of the associations that they've got are going to give that energy, because they can give that energy again. I just don't know if it's necessarily with some of these people. But yeah, I mind you, to this day there are MAC foundations that I like, MAC lipstick. Listen, pick me up a little lip gloss if I see it in the Sephora display. The lip liner, eyeshadow, right? They have the product, they have the quality, they have the name, they have all of that. Right now it's giving very much so like, what are y'all, the team, going to do to remind people of that? Because, you know, sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes you just gotta remind people, do you know who I am? So yeah, y'all, that is it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of MAC going to Sephora. Let me know what you think, if their sales are down, what they could do to get sales back up, to get brand recognition back up, brand name out there. And, you know, I know like MAC is, and again, it's like MAC is an international brand. It is well known all over. So I'm talking like here in America. And they do have a lot of competition here in America. You know, some of those other countries where certain brands that are popular right now in America are not available over there, MAC's got it. They got them over there. But like here in America, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of like, just every direction that you turn in, there's another brand in your face. There's someone pushing something else in your face. So let me know in the comments down below what you think MAC can do. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.